Hi, welcome to Liz and Liz Get Literary. My name is Liz.
And I'm also Liz. Welcome back.
Welcome back. How are you, Liz?
I'm good. It is still hot as heck. I'm ready for fall. I've never been more ready for fall, and I will never be more ready for fall. I've had pumpkin spice lattes at home every day this week, and I just need it to be colder.
I completely agree, especially because we have so many amazing things happening this fall that I'm just like fiending for it to get a little brisk. I saw a TikTok of someone who lived in Fort Wayne and they had leaves down, and I was like, yes, it started. Like, we only have like maybe 4 weeks, left. And then I will say that I have thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed the summer. Um, and we have had such an amazing summer together again. And um, I really do appreciate you really encouraging me to enjoy my space where I'm at. So thank
We're
you.
living our glowy summer dreams, and now it's time to die.
It,
Okay? So we need them to go. I think because we just had a lake day this weekend, now I'm done. Get me out of here.
yeah, we relaxed and we needed that. We needed that together and we needed that with our girls and we just needed it in general. So
Yeah. We had so many things to discuss,
we
whether
did.
it was Taylor Swift or our husbands or birthdays or books. It was just like my mouth was hurting from talking and smiling.
Yep. And so let's talk about it. Taylor announced TS12.
The life of a showgirl. Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
so excited. And did you see the TikTok that I sent you where it's like the sister album to Reputation? I hope so.
I mean, he is the one. Max Martin is the one that helped us out with Reputation. So, and he's back.
Do you know? I saw this TikTok where they played, I think it was Oops, I Did It Again, but he was on Oops, I Did It
He
Again.
produced Oops, I Did It Again. He produced, Toxic. He produced, Circus
Okay,
by
cool.
Britney Spears. I think he did some things for Jessica Simpson too, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
With You album is embedded into my DNA.
He did the, not If You Seek Amy, but the other popular one from that era. Yeah, so he's a pop genius. So I think it literally is just gonna be, like,
Blondie taking us to church.
Reputation and, like, Hit Me Baby One More Time, like a showgirl.
I'm ready. I'm so excited. So I want to give a little so my prediction is that we will get a single drop. And my prediction is it's going to be The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina Carpenter. What is your prediction?
That's exactly what I'm hoping and thinking is gonna happen, because even though Taylor needs no assistance in any department, Sabrina Carpenter is, like, hotter than hot right now, so I think both of them together would for sure break the internet before the album. I don't know. I'm hoping for a traditional rollout, like we get album singles and videos and all that. If not, I think it's gonna be like Midnights where we immediately got, Antihero, and TTPD when we immediately got Fortnite,
Yes.
like,
I
at the same time.
yeah. And I'm fine with whatever she does, obviously. I can't believe in less than 60 days you and I will be rating our Taylor Swift songs.
I know. I think it's like 42 days or something? 43, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's
It
crazy.
is crazy. We've had a wild time. We
We
have
have
had a wild time. We've had Taylor announcements, we've had book announcements, um, we have exciting things going on today that I would hope would break the internet, so
Mhm.
we have a lot going on.
We do.
But before we tell the people, I think we should talk about what we're reading.
Okay. Do you wanna go first?
Sure. I'm currently, 75% of the way through Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Kane. Um, our pal Rosie recommended it a million trillion times and just finished book 7, and I had no idea that there was even a sequel. let alone 7. So I was like, "You know what? That's exactly what I need, a bingeable thriller."
And does it give, like, Pines energy? Like, what w set the scene for me a little bit.
It is a less violent Karen Slaughter book, like a Karen Slaughter mixed with Riley Sager, but Riley Sager at his best, like House Across the Lake. The
Okay.
first 50% of House Across the Lake mixed with, like, a Karen Slaughter book.
So you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it.
It's intense. It is intense. It's like a woman on the run, and she found out it's on the back of the books. This is not a spoiler, no one get upset. She's running from her husband who was a convicted serial killer, and she didn't know he was a serial killer until a car accidentally crashed into their garage, and there was a woman hanging up in the garage.
And she didn't know it was in the garage?
No, because it was passcode locked, it was his wood shop, and he said it was, like, his secret like a project shop, like, she never went in there. And she's been moving and moving and moving and moving, running from him, and he has connections and she has connections, and
Is he
it
trying to kill her or he wants her back? You don't know, okay.
he was sentenced to death, but in the state he was sentenced to death, and it takes forever.
So how did it okay, you know what? I'm just gonna read it because I have
It's
questions.
insane. It is insane, and they're on KU, so if you have a Kindle or you have an Amazon Kindle Unlimited, membership, you can read it there. And then I am still reading The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff, but Stillhouse Lake has honestly made me put my entire life on pause, so I will not be reading anything else for the foreseeable few days.
I can't wait for you to really finish The Bright Years, though, because I I just can't wait to talk to you about it. So,
I'm so excited. And then I'll be reading Bittersweet for our BRBT book club next week, maybe
mhm,
the end of this week, and I cannot wait. I'm literally so excited. All I've heard is dramatic and messy and sad, and
mhm,
those are my favorite things to be. So,
agreed. Yes, I will be there with you. I think I'll be starting it here soon too.
perfect. Well, that's me. That's my corner. I think I know what you're reading, but tell the people.
I am finishing up my reread of Rose and Chains by Julie Soto. Um,
Phenomenal.
if you watch us at all, you know that beginning of this year we got an arc, and I said it might be my number one book of the year, and I'm right back in that mindset. It is so good. The thing I'm picking up on my reread is all of the Taylor Swift Easter eggs,
Yes.
and I go,
So many.
I like look around, and my cats are like, "'Kay, mom, like, chill." Um, because 'cause I'm like, "It's an albatross!" Anyway, so I'm
Right.
having a great time. I'm also 60% through Dungeon Crawler 5. I had meant to finish, these books this weekend, but between the lake and the pool and all of that, I really didn't get to read as much as I wanted to.
They're hefty. Like, these are books you can't really take around with you. That's why it took me, like, a week to read the first one.
Yeah, and it's something that, like, I can't just read and, like, have conversations because so much happens and so like, I don't think Matt Dinniman is a Swiftie, but he
He might
definitely
be.
has read the same college course that she has in terms of, like, Easter eggs and stuff because
Yeah.
you're if you, like, check out mentally for, like, 3 pages,
Mhm.
you have to go back because 'cause you're like, "Wait, what?" Um, so I am doing that, and then for my, like, no thoughts, no stakes high read, I'm doing Cash by Jessica Peterson. I actually, am doing a buddy read with Rosie. We messaged back and forth about it because she was like, I'm down to read this." She had said it in, like, a video a while ago, and so I was like, "Listen, I'll read it with you." Um, Lila Sage is still my top tier,
Of course.
but this is actually really good. It's a premise of this, woman's dad dies. He owns this really big ranch, and the head ranch guy, I don't know what they're called. His name is
I don't know either.
his name is Cash, and he's very grumpy and he's very hot and he's very like sweet at the same time. Like, he's a cinnamon roll, and so they're doing their tango thing, and so I was actually kind of shocked because like I don't I didn't think Rosie would like the romance.
Mhm. Well, she likes, Megan Quinn, so
That's true. So we'll see how she feels at the end. I am also kind of buddy reading it with Sarah, my friend Sarah, as well. And she's beating me and she's like, "Have you gotten to the spice yet?" And I'm like, "Don't tell me anything. I don't want to know." So, I
Sarah,
mean,
our friend from the bookstore?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which also shocked me.
That is maybe the most shocking thing I've heard in days.
Yeah. Cause I'm also like, I feel like you and I specifically will read pretty much anything. But we have a lot of book besties who will not.
Yep.
And both Rosie and Sarah are two of them that I don't did not whatever. So, yeah, we're having a good time. It's good. It's such a mind shift through all of
Yeah, well, I feel like you needed that though. We've been literally in outer space.
it. Yeah.
Stillhouse Lake was perfect to get me out of outer space, and this is working for you, so that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for us for essentially Buddy Read Bittersweet.
I know. I'm really excited.
Yes.
So, do you want to tell the people what we are doing today?
I would love to. So, we had the absolute honor of welcoming back two of our favorite authors of all time. Sarah Hawley, who wrote, I have them back here, um, Servant of Earth. Can you see?
Iconic, iconic book, truly.
There you go. Servant of Earth. Um, the way that Liz and I like to describe this is it is all of the best parts of a book like ACOTAR. There's trials, a human, fae, but it's written so well.
It's
Um,
beautiful.
so good. The imagery, the way she describes things, the flow of the book, the character herself, Kenna, who is the front woman on the book, so well done. She also wrote some cozy fantasies as well, a little spicy. And those are also well done. So I was not shocked. Princess of Blood comes out September 30th, which is the sequel to this. And we were lucky enough to get a traveling arc for that. You guys, it's even better than Servant of Earth.
We both gave it 5 stars. Yeah, I have literally no notes, and I mean this in the most, like, high compliment way. These books also have an air of, like, messy reality TV to them.
Yes.
It's
Mhm.
like bingeable fantasy, but without skimping on the quality.
Yes.
I
100%.
I have no notes, genuinely no notes.
Yes.
So,
She did. Sarah, we've said it to her a million times, like she did her big work, there. And then also welcome back to Demi Winters. Her latest book, well, this traditionally published was Kingdom of Claw. She also came out recently in July, The Roots of Darkness. Roots of Darkness.
incredible novella.
Yes, this is actually getting traditionally published, so you will be seeing it in store as well. Kingdom of Claw is another sequel that was almost better than the first.
It's shocking how both of these authors, yeah, have really, like, established that a sequel can, in fact, be better than the original even when the original is 5 stars.
Yes.
We were both very scared to read both of these books because we were so attached to both Servant of Earth and Road of Bones that I did not think it was possible for us to like them even more, and we're obsessed.
Yes, and, Demi has Dawn of the North that comes out in February, and so
Yep.
I would really love to talk to her about both Roots of Darkness, Dawn of the North, and Sarah about Princess of Blood.
Oh my gosh, and also what comes after Princess of Blood because there's another cliffhanger, situation, spoiler alert.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, and additionally, February 3rd cannot come soon enough. However, Liz and I will be starting Dawn of the North. Here's my opinion, the second the wind blows, I'm opening it.
The second
Right
there's, like
now, it is 92 degrees according to my office thermostat. No, I'm sorry. I can't I can't currently.
it's that, like, when it's, like, winds in the east,
Exactly.
and then I'm like, "Yep, it's time.
You're like, "Hold on. The North, it's coming."
Winter is coming." So
So, yeah, Liz had one of her many, 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 many late night ideas to DM an author. This is something that she does all the time, or sometimes it's just Heinz ketchup or an energy drink brand.
did you see it in the DMs of TikTok? I didn't even tell you.
Liz, I am part-time Liz's best friend, I'm part-time co-host, and then part-time crisis PR manager because why are we DMing Heinz ketchup at 5 AM? I'm not sure, but this was one of your best ideas you've ever had. Not all ideas are as good as this, that's all I'm saying. They're all good, but they're just not all as good as this.
I did not tell I did not tell Liz that I was DMing Heinz. I just
I
you
don't
know,
even like ketchup. What am I supposed to do with this?
just was like, "You know what? Just shoot your shot shoot your shot, and then, if we get a collab with Heinz, like, just surprise Liz."
And make her eat ketchup on camera. We
I
love to see it.
I mean, I wouldn't have made you. I would have been like, "Heinz, what do you need?" And
But yeah, anyways, Liz was like, well, because they both okay, so we put out an episode with Sarah Hawley,
mhm.
and Demi Winters commented and was like, "Wait a second, I'm a huge fan." And Sarah responded to that comment and was like, "No, I'm a huge fan of you." And Liz was just like calls me immediately from bed and is like, "We have to message them. I think we should do it all together, like just one big yap. Like, no crazy interview questions. Like, we're just gonna
Oh, Demi's asking to come on.
we're just gonna have a conversation." So, Liz and Liz listeners, here we go. It's starting now.
Sorry, I'm early.
No, we were just
Hi.
yapping about you.
We're just talking about you.
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was how I was supposed to join because it was like, ask your question.
No, perfect. We filmed like a quick introduction about how this was all coming to be and like sliding into your DMs and all the fun stuff. So,
Yeah, I was just thinking I met Sarah kind of through your comments.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, Liz, do you see what's happening in our comment section?
Yeah.
You guys
I was
facilitated
just
that.
saying that. It was so cute. I think it was on Sarah's episode, and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm a big fan," and Sarah was like, "No, I'm a big fan," and I was like, "We're all big fans. Let's
Aw.
have a conversation."
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So, how are things?
Things are good. Things are good. I've been traveling for holiday stuff, family stuff, and I went to one event, and so it's been really hard to, like, get deep into the writing mindset lately, but I'm getting back into it.
I saw you went axe throwing with some of your readers.
I did that
That is
this weekend.
amazing.
I kinda just, like, selfishly wanted to go throw axes, and then I was like, "Well, that could be a fun reader meetup and, like, very on brand."
Yes. Yeah, I'm scared to throw axes. Have you ever seen that video where the girl like throws it? I'm like, that would be me.
And it does bounce back sometimes. Like, you
Mhm.
have to be paying attention. Yeah, so most of mine bounced. Most of them fell harmlessly to the ground, but, like, the only 2 I managed to get to stick into the wood were in a bullseye. So I was like, "I'm
Wow.
amazing. Maybe I would survive in the Viking world after all."
I think you would do great. I think you would do great.
But then he got out to throwing daggers, and those were a whole other thing because, like, the axe had, like, a certain amount of weight to it, so it's kinda, like, easier to throw it, but the daggers were just so light, they were hard, definitely.
I
So
have to tell you that I've been like crazy stalking your Goodreads. Like every time you're like, I finished a book, I'm like, I want to ask her what she thought. And I'm like,
I
I
shouted
want to,
everything.
like, tell me everything.
Okay, so I know, like, authors being on Goodreads is definitely a like, I'm not supposed to be in reader spaces, but, like, I just don't care if I accidentally see a negative review
Yeah.
of my stuff, so I'm like, I actually love tracking my reading, and I get so many recommendations and stuff from the people that I'm friends with, so I will never be rating a book on that public account. I mean, I rate arcs and stuff because everyone gets 5 stars, everybody.
I mean, honestly, like, I love it because I want to know what you guys are reading because I obviously enjoy the same things you enjoy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love your books, so I trust your taste. I trust what you like. And so every time I'm like, oh, there's another book for my TBR.
Yeah, I'm like, Demi read it. I'm gonna love
I've
it.
got it.
So
Yes. Yes.
I see one of my cats. One currently has its head stuck in a paper bag, so I might have to like
Oh.
go and he's a menace.
What kind of cat?
He is a tabby. His name is Boy Cat. My kids so we have sibling cats. It's Boy Cat and Girl Cat, and they're like twins.
That's so cute.
And then the cat that I named is Wanda Renee Maxima. And
Wow, she's got 3 names to make up for the other 2.
she's the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, she has
I
to.
love it.
she's perfect. So she will not interrupt us, but Boy Cat he likes Liz a lot, so he hears her voice and he's like,
Aw.
"Let me be a menace." So
He's
Oh,
my
that's so
favorite
cute.
cat, besides my cats.
yeah.
I have 2 brother cats, and they
Oh,
were found in a garbage dump, and so one of them is called Oscar, like Oscar the Grouch, and the other was named Hefty after a Hefty bag, and I was like, "I don't want your name to be Hefty," so I renamed him to Milo. Just
Yeah,
like,
let's change that narrative.
I don't know, it just felt like his thing that would follow him around forever. Just like, he is kind of a hefty guy, but we don't call him that. Like,
oh yeah,
We
we're not body shaming Milo, even if
I
he
know,
is
right?
hefty.
Oh,
That's
I love when
awesome.
animals have, like, the names like Phil or Barb. Like, like, if I ever get a cat again, it's gonna be, like, Deborah. Like, I think that's the most hysterical thing that anybody can
Truly.
do.
I love
My
that.
cat's name when
So,
I adopted her was like Heather. And I was like, "What? Who what do
she's just
you
his name.
mean? What do you like, it's a great musical, but like I'm not calling a cat Heather." So she's Ophelia. And then Oliver used to be Charleston. And then I just got a dumpster kitten, and her name is Cannoli. And she's so cute.
Aw, that's
She's
so
really cute. Yep. She's really cute. She was gonna be named Odessa after the main character from Shill's Sparrows. Um,
what's her
but
name again?
Odessa?
Odessa. Odessa. That's
Yeah.
Have
kinda
you read
cool.
Well,
that yet?
I have, yeah, I liked it a lot. The
because they're
monsters
supposed to be
were
all O names. I was like, well, I can't really name a cat Hecla
oh,
because they
yeah.
would think I was like saying heckler. And Kenna is a human name. I was like going through. I was like, Liz, all these fantasy names. Like, I have to pick one that's an O, and the only one was Shield of Sparrows. And my husband was like, I don't like it. It reminds me of the Swan Princess. I was like, that's a good thing. What do you
Odette.
mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
The
So,
Swan Princess was
cannoli.
the best movie.
That's
So
a
you
good
have
thing.
Ophelia, Oliver, and Cannoli.
They were elegant, and now they're just a snack.
So I know Penn Cole named her cat Cardboard. So, like, and she calls her Cardi B for short. So, like, Cannoli's not like that. It's not that weird yet. But
I do have a friend with a cat named Bean, not Beans, just like Bean.
Oh, there's I'm here now. Hi.
sorry.
Hi.
No.
Hello.
How's it
Okay,
been
well,
doing?
we're doing great.
Hold on, let me try and get this sun because I'm not well.
That's right in your eyes.
It's like,
Yeah, you
hey
get it,
girl,
girl.
I'll be right back.
It gives you an ethereal kind of glow.
I know. She's always glowing anyways. She
I
looks
have an
like the
open
sun
book.
everywhere she goes.
I'll just I can't. I don't think there's anything I can't say other than we'll try not to spoil, like the romance in book 1. I try not to spoil. This is so hard though. It's like so hard to talk about it at all and not spoil
Does
it.
the Pegasus get a boyfriend?
The Pegasus is like he's a stallion, so he's a he.
Does he get a boy? No, I'm just kidding. Does he get anything? Does he get a love interest?
I haven't found one, but
If you wanted him to and you wanted to name it Liz, we give you full rights.
It's not very Viking-ish.
I love that.
So,
It's like when you're reading like the super elaborate fantasy story and then you get to like Frank.
yeah.
You know what I
Carl!
mean?
And you just know that was someone's great uncle.
Yeah.
I do have to say that you putting Cass, it's Cass on the cover of Dawn of the North, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
We all said thank you.
so I think a lot of people were like, why isn't it Ray? And it's just because book 4 is Ray's book. Like it always has been. And there's like a whole, that's the only one that I like always have known. And that's his.
Amazing.
Love it.
Meanwhile, Kenna is just continuing to serve, and that's all I'm looking for.
And Kenna's having a time. Kenna's you said, Kenna, you're gonna have a time.
It was kind of rough.
I was like, oh, are we mad at Kenna? Like, is that why we're doing this to her? Like,
No, I love her.
you
I
literally
love
were like,
her.
here is hope and happiness. And then the next page, you were like, just kidding.
Emotional
It's book
damage.
2 in a trilogy. You gotta be mean.
You have to. You have to. Yeah, and it was perfectly executed. I was just telling Liz off camera that it was like maybe one of the best cliffhangers ever.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah.
I literally like turned the page and I was like, that's it. Got it.
Daughter of Blood, right? Or Daughter of
Princess.
It's Princess of Blood.
Princess of Blood. Oh my God, I'm terrible with titles.
That's
All
okay.
the fantasy
have a lot
novels
going on.
have like, yeah, it could be princess, daughter, queen, heir.
I do
You
not
never
have
know.
a title for book 3 yet. I cannot think of anything that isn't a massive spoiler. So, gonna work on that.
So hard.
Oh my God.
Or like you find
It's-
the perfect title and it's already been used.
Was that a personal experience?
It was just it took us a while to get to Dawn of the North. My editor wanted like a hard word and a soft word because there's like the Road of Bones and Kingdom of Claw. And so we were looking for like a hard and soft combo. And everything I thought of was used already. Like every single thing I would go and look, oh, it's been used. So, but I like Dawn of the North.
It's perfect.
Because it actually is kind of like a saying for the Northern Lights. It's like an alternative way to say the Northern Lights. So it kind of fits with the world.
I love that.
It's so good. It's so beautiful. It reminds me in the absolute best way, like a mixture of like something like Celestial Ethereal and Game of Thrones, like Jon Snow. And that's what I'm looking for in my life on this planet. So I'm ready.
I was definitely influenced a little bit by Game of Thrones when I was coming up with this whole world.
I feel personally that you could write a better season 8. So
Agreed.
we'll cut that
I
part
mean,
out. 'Cause I don't want to
seven and 8. Sarah can take 7 and Demi can take 8 because I
Yeah,
was
'cause
not
Sarah
well at
can
either.
like emotionally wreck us and give us
Yep.
hope and take it, and then you can finish it off, and it'll be
Yeah,
great.
the romance like needed some more build up for sure. I mean, it all needed more build up.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest complaint is if you're gonna do the Mad Queen arc, you need to build up the Mad Queen more. Like,
Yeah.
I felt most of her actions were justified, and I don't know if that's a me problem, but I was like, I would definitely burn down King's Landing. So what's the problem?
Yep.
Yeah, why hasn't we
Let it
done
go.
this already? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the only thing I really would like love to ask and get all the all the listeners and readers involved in is how you guys kind of met. Because was it or was it not in our comment section?
It was.
Yeah, well, we also did Emerald City Comic-Con.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
saw that you were going to be a guest on the podcast, and then I commented, "Oh, I loved Servant of Earth."
Yeah.
And you were like, "You did? I loved Road of Bones." And I was like, then I got into your DMs and was like, "Hey, I think we're going to the same Comic-Con." And then we had lunch. Did we have lunch?
It was
We
like a lunchy
Like
dinner.
a weird dinner. there goes Boy Cat.
Yeah. He was trying to eat the window, so that's great. But yes.
Oh my god, do we have cats right off screen? Because I have one behind my laptop right now, ominously approaching.
My son.
Doesn't
Here
he
he
look like a
is.
menace?
Here
No,
he
he's
is.
perfect.
Hi,
Unhands
baby.
me, woman.
Oh.
What's your cat's name, Sarah?
This is Coco.
Oh,
He's a decently good boy.
Can you take notes? Take notes from Coco.
I know. He's a very good boy, but he does not like when I am on a Zoom with other people. I mean, I think he would like it if I was on a Zoom with him, but he is a problem. And then I have another one who's just out of screen, but she will not be held up before the camera. She has too much dignity.
She said, "I'm not Simba, so I know
Exactly. This
we're
one has
good."
no
That's the
dignity.
guy. Yep.
Yeah. Boy Cat 5 seconds ago had his head stuck in a bag, so we're thriving. We're thriving.
Doing
But
great. My
anyways,
cats are at home. This is my office, so
she's in a sterile environment.
no disruptions. Yeah.
So how was lunch? How was hanging out? I'm so jealous that you got to hang out together. Like, how was
It
it?
was so fun, and
It was
we went
great.
with Heather Fawcett.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That
Wow.
was so fun. I loved chatting with you guys because I feel like I've mostly been around like self-published authors, so it was really cool to talk behind the scenes of like the trad journey, and I felt like there's still so much I didn't know, about how to work with a publisher. I was like, how does this work? How does that work? But yeah, so it was really fun and like nice to meet a fellow fantasy author.
Yeah. That was a good panel too. It was like the romantasy panel and just talking about like world building and everything else. And it's funny you talk about like all the things you still need to learn about traditional publishing, whereas I feel like I meet someone like you and I'm like, what, how do you, like, your marketing game and like you seem so put together on every single front.
Thank you.
I'm like, you are terrifyingly competent. And I'm like, how do I also become terrifyingly competent? Because I do not feel competent in any way.
I think at that point I was doing it myself and being very distracted from writing because of it. And so now I think we share a PA, right?
Yeah, she's helping me with social media. So we haven't gone to the full PA area yet. So I'm still managing like all my social media and all my email, but she's making some reels for me because I am bad. I am bad at creating things. I can like do some Canva graphics, but I'm not good at trends or anything else. So she's helping me out.
Well, your
Is that
Barnes and Noble
Molly?
sales graphics are my favorite.
Which
They're
one?
always
We love Molly.
your Barnes and Noble's graphics are
Oh yeah.
they're always the best, like whenever they have a sale.
Thank you. I feel like it's just like at some point madness sets in because there's 2 of those a year and you're like, how do I come up with something that isn't just like Barnes and Noble? And so I've just been leading into complete absurdity and it's been working. So
I just
We
did the
love
thing
them.
I hate, which is calling it Barnes and Nobles. I just need to correct that.
My family members do that all the time, and they also say washer, and so I feel like I'm constantly like washer, Barnes and Noble, like
I thought you were saying like, like Worcestershire. I thought you were saying that. And I was like, what?
no, they're saying like they where we're from, they like to add R's places that they are not. So my
Weird.
grandfather will call and be like, "Well, I gotta put the clothes in the washer, and then I'll be over." And I'm like, "You have to put them where?" Oh, in the washer. Got it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I think that's funny. I think you guys both market your books very well. Demi, you're really active on TikTok. I see you all the time, and you come up like on For You pages because I have a personal one and then a work one, and I'm like, oh, I know her, and they crack me up. And Sarah, your game has stepped up a lot.
oh, thank you.
Yes, I was gonna tell you that like you pop up even more now too, and I'm like, it's Sarah. So I think you both are doing phenomenal. And I know it's like a scary place to be too, like people are quick to point out if you do anything wrong. So
yeah, I've almost been just like waiting for me to say something, stick my foot in my mouth, and like it's bound to happen at some point. But my background is like I had a food blog and I was doing a lot of TikTok, Reels, marketing. And so when I transitioned to writing, it was like I already had that kind of muscle developed, if you will. So, but I will say the marketing for books is so much easier than having to shoot like full cooking videos. Like I just have to hold up a book versus like being in front of the camera or doing like these overhead shots and putting it together. And yeah, much easier for books.
Yeah. You're
but
like, here's
still.
this 6'8" Viking. And everyone comes. Yeah. The people come running.
Yeah, when I market your books or when I'm convincing everyone to read, for Sarah, I'm like, you know how we have like shadow daddies? How would you feel about like a void daddy? And they're like, okay, I'm here. And
Oh,
then
yes.
I'm also like, so you know Vikings? How about like some really hot shadow daddy, but then there's also this potential monster one. Like, and they're like, okay, I'm sad. And I'm like, you should be. Here we go.
Aw, I'm so honored. Thank you.
Yeah, you both have we've had Demi's books as our book club books before. And Sarah, you are on deck for the upcoming months for book club. So
Oh,
I'm so
exciting.
excited. Oh yeah. And these people these women are great. They will read your books and they will love them, and I am so excited for them to meet Kenna. And they they're like, "Hey, have you guys heard like what book 3 is going to be?" And I'm like, "Well, before we get to Dawn of the North, have you read Roots of Darkness? Like, there's a squirrel and it's amazing."
Oh,
And
gosh.
sure.
Yeah, that novella was supposed to go in Kingdom of Claw, but like it was kind of like a side quest. So it had to have its own, it felt better to put it as its own book, but then the publisher didn't know what to do with it. And then it's just been this whole thing of like, how do you market a novella? And so they did just pick it up after I self-published it. And so now we're like transitioning over and doing that all.
So,
So that's
I was going to ask you about that. So, was it because it did so well as a self-published novella that they picked it up, or was it just that they were able to then negotiate it into your contract? Like, how did that change happen? Because I feel like it happened pretty quickly after you
it
published.
did. No, it's not because it did well. There's just some stuff happening behind the scenes, and I think they decided they just wanted to make sure that they had all of the books in the series. And it made sense. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to publish it with another publisher, for example. Like, it just makes sense to keep them all together.
Agreed.
So that's like my vague answer that I'm sure you can infer from that.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal though. So many girls in our book club, they were like immediately they read Kingdom of Claw and then they were like, Claw has it, and they were like sprinting trying to find it. They're texting me and Liz like, I'm obsessed with her. This is my favorite one. I wish it was 900
Well,
pages. Like, is she gonna be in Dawn of the North? And we're like, okay, all right, okay. I hope so.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, Hecla
phenomenal.
will have
So
point of views in Dawn of the North.
Yes.
And her
Mhm.
story will kind of continue throughout the series.
I
oh,
guess my question
okay.
is, did you have those chapters in the original draft of Kingdom of Claw and then you pulled them out and assembled them, or is it that you realized it needed more fleshing out, so then you kind of started again as its own entity?
It was parts of it were going to be happening in Kingdom of Claw. And then I decided to give Hecla her own love interest. And so then it really was going to get bigger. So I never actually wrote them, but I had plotted it. And the way it was plotted, like, because it sets up book 3, it couldn't go in book 3. The timeline didn't work for it to go in book 3. So no, it wasn't. Luckily I didn't have to like cut it out and keep it or rework it like that. But no, it was just plotted out. And like my mind was very inflexible with with restructuring it. Yeah. So
Well, you're a really intense plotter, right?
well, I try to be. I have this big outline for book 4, but like I I discover a lot while I'm writing, even when I've plotted. And so, for example, book 4, I was about 80% through draft 1, and that was kind of like sticking to what I'd plotted. And then I got called away to do edits on book 3 and book 2.5, and I was traveling, and so like I basically hadn't worked on it for 6 weeks. And I came back and I was looking at it like, what is happening? Who is this? And I couldn't get back into it at 80%. So I just started over, and like everything has shifted since the outline. So I do plot. However, especially the romance, like I kind of leave the romance up in the air, which I'm realizing I'm trying to be better about plotting the romance this time, or like at least having a plan for it, because having it as an afterthought makes it very difficult during rewrites.
So
I can't wait. I can't wait for book 4. And Sarah, do you want to talk about Princess of Blood and book 3? Like Princess of Blood comes out September 30th, and
yes, very soon.
Very soon. Our friend Bailey wanted to say thank you because you're putting it out on her birthday.
yes.
Oh, good.
And she was so feral for book 1 that she was like, "Is this for me?" Could she feel me screaming from here?
No, that's good. No, it's hard to know what to say about Princess of Blood that isn't too spoilery. Should we assume people have read book 1 if they're tuning in?
Yeah,
Or...
I would
yeah.
would assume by
Okay.
now. It's been out long enough. If I will like a little disclaimer. If you have not read Servant of Earth at this point, there will be spoilers, so just be mindful of what you're about to walk into.
Also, just stop and go read it. It's
Yeah.
like way better than anything we could
Just
do.
do it and come back in like 10 minutes. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No, it was a Princess of Blood was a really interesting process to write because like this story has been in my head for a really long time. I think I've told you I wrote the first book in 2017 and it just didn't get picked up until recently. And so it was interesting revisiting kind of my ideas of what was going to happen in that book and then realizing I didn't want to do most of those things. And so I just basically started straight over from scratch. It's the second installment in like a bigger story. So there's a lot of politics, it's a lot of moving pieces. It's a lot about deepening the emotional connections between characters. Which I think is an interesting challenge to move the plot while you're also like, it's a character focused book, because it's like now that everyone's cards are on the table after Servant of Earth and you kind of know where people stand and who can be, well, you don't know who can be trusted, but you know who can't now. So it was a really interesting, challenging book to write. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think a lot of people are going to be angry at me for certain things, but hopefully the romance will make them forgive me. And then I actually just finished the first draft of the third book last night.
Yeah, I've been seeing some things on your page that make me kind of go, "Ma'am, you said happiness was gonna come." So
I cried a lot. Like the last 2 days, I've been crying a lot because,
in a
like,
good
obviously,
way.
in a what?
In a good way.
It depends how you feel about crying.
I mean,
I'm stressed.
Like, do you want like an emotional catharsis where you feel really sad? Like, great.
Like how you felt when you heard All Too Well, the 10-minute version for the first time. That's what I'm chasing every time I open a book. So
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, especially I feel like in fantasy versus if we're just writing romance, like the stakes need to be high and you have to feel like people aren't safe. And then if you want readers to feel like no one is safe, then sometimes you have to actively make them not safe. And that's really difficult.
Very well.
yeah, both of you have crazy stakes, actually. So
it's like, what, like Princess of Blood has some pretty messed up stuff that happens in it. So the third book is it has to wrap everything up. And so it also has to have some pretty dark moments. So one of them really got me because like I love my characters, even the characters other people don't like. And so it's hard for me to let them go in various ways.
I will say the political aspect of your books is so original to me. I really I felt like I was with Kenna through both books trying to figure out who is okay and who is not. And I was wrong for most of it. So, which is probably why I would not survive half of these worlds, because I'd be like, oh no, that's a friend. And then I would be beheaded. It's like, I know this about myself. So, but you really take the term like, well, you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it. And I applaud you for that, because I did suffer and I was so happy about it.
Yep. And I will be there again. I'll do it again. Next trilogy, I'll do it again.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, suffering, lizard. I'm here.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm on the way.
I guess that's a great question is, would you survive the world of your books? Because like I certainly wouldn't. Would you, Demi? You would die?
No, I just went I went axe throwing this weekend, and I barely got it to stick into the wall at all. And I was like, I would not survive this age. No, and then when people ask what world I would want to live in, I'm like Stephanie Garber.
Truly.
Stephanie Garber's world.
Truly.
It's so
But
whimsical.
honestly, only the Caraval world. I would not even want to live in the Once Upon a Time.
Oh, I haven't read
Once Upon a
Caraval.
Broken Heart. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh wait, which Stephanie Garber are you talking about? Once Upon a Broken Heart?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I would survive there. I'm not sure.
Maybe I wouldn't either, but it
I'd
would
be a
be
statue.
wonderful.
I mean, I feel like I could survive Glimmer Falls.
Yes,
Oh,
think
I would
most of us
thrive
could.
in Glimmer Falls.
Yeah.
Especially if I like accidentally summoned a demon and then he wanted to be my lover, like I would be thriving.
Or
So
you
Yeah.
bought one on eBay.
Yeah, Glimmer Falls is a world where very few bad things happen. So
yeah.
I think I would also live. I would survive Glimmer Falls. I would not survive Mistay. I would be fairy food instantly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would
So
look at me and be
Sarah-
like, here we go, get her out. Take her.
I don't know. I disagree. I think Liz would be running all their book clubs, and I would be like collecting all their gossip. They would need both of us.
Ooh, that's another good question. Who would be in a book club in your books?
Oh, well,
Oh,
Kenna, first of all, would be in a book club with Hecla.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Hecla might be like into like a dark romance
Exactly.
Yeah.
book club. I think Scylla would be in a book club.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
She would have
I
like
think-
a historical fiction book club or something.
I think Cassandra Rurick would also be in a book club.
Yes. Dark
And
romance.
Ray
for
would
sure.
never. Ray would never be in a
Oh,
book
you don't think Ray would secretly have like a romance stash like in the back of his saddlebag?
He might. He might
feel
like
like-
glower at the back of the room and eat all the baked goods.
Yeah, he would come for support, and then like if it was modern day, she'd just be like sending him all these TikToks of like the book boyfriends doing the arm thing in the doorway, and he'd be like, "I can get my hands so much higher than that."
Oh my gosh, you might be right.
Like I can totally see him being like, "What is this book you're obsessed with?" and then like secretly going to read it and then coming back and being like, "So,
Yeah,
hello."
Yeah, you're right. He might do that.
but I don't think he would go to a book club, so I still think that stands.
That
Yeah.
would be a secret in the cabin type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Callan
Callan would not be in a club, full stop.
of anything.
No clubs. Drustin would be in all the clubs. Drustin would be in every single club he can join.
He's
Book
like, "Oh,
clubs,
you need a spicy
dance
rep?
clubs.
Here you go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
What was it like writing the last book? Like,
Oh
how was that? I haven't done that yet, and I'm scared.
It was rough. It was rough because I mean the process was actually a lot easier than writing Princess of Blood. Like Princess of Blood is the hardest book I've ever written because I feel like
it's
it
like
took,
Act 2.
yeah,
like
it's
the
Act 2, which
hardest.
is it's the worst part of an individual book, and then when it's like Act 2 writ large for an entire trilogy, it just took so much more work because I knew my beginning point and I knew my end point, and then I'm like, there's stuff in the middle. How fun! But so the experience of the third book was like, I know what's supposed to happen for the most part. So I'm like, that was easier to do. But there's this really emotional component where you're like, I don't want to say goodbye to these characters. It's like bittersweet to end this project that's like defined a huge part of my life. And it's funny because when I first wrote Servant of Earth and it didn't sell, I kind of had this grieving moment where I was like, Kenna will never get the end of her story. Like these characters will never move to the next phase of their lives. Like I'll never get to complete that. And now I actually get to complete that. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to. Like I think it's gonna be harder. But like yours is 5 books, right?
Yeah, it's 5 books. So
That's gonna be it's gonna be rough. You're gonna be so sad that 5th book.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, it's hard to say what the structure for like 5 books, but book 3 is kind of almost like a bridge between the beginning and the end. And now I'm writing the end and I'm like, yes, we're getting to this stuff that like I've been dreaming of for so long. So it's really fun to write some of these parts.
How do you do multiple POVs like that? Like how do you make sure that everything is balanced in a way that feels good?
Well, first of all, I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, let's have like 3 romance arcs and all these point of views. And so book 3 was a lot of wrangling because I think I cast a lot of threads out there in books 1 and 2, and they had to kind of tighten up. So there are like 3 main storylines happening, and they do converge at the climax. But like it was not easy. Um, so with book 2, like there's 2 main storylines, and I made sure to kind of bounce them off one another. So like when something happens in one, then it's affecting the other, and when something's happening in the other, it affects. But then book 3, they had to be completely separate, and I was kind of worried that that might not read well. But I've been getting good feedback, so hopefully it's not too hard to follow. Just have to trust the process that it's all going to come together. But for me, it's just a lot of revisions. I've always tried to like find a way around it, but there's a lot of rewrites and there's a lot of revisions, and some point of view storylines just like worked, and some of them just didn't work. And so I had to rework them until they felt a little bit better. So I don't have an easy answer. Just like I'm always moving things around to see if something fits better in one place or another, and trying very hard to keep things cohesive. But yeah, no, I think it's like inexperience, honestly, that caused me to draft so big, like go so big, because I was just like, let's do this. And then I was like, okay, we also have to do this now.
Yeah,
For
I
sure. Do
suppose
you think
I have
you
a project I dream of sometimes that's like a multi POV epic fantasy thing, but I think I'm daunted because I understand how to do 2 alternating perspectives from romance, and I know how to do the single POV from fantasy, and I've never tried to have like 6 people that we're following. So we'll see if I ever do that or if I'm too much of a coward. I don't know.
No,
I
you definitely
vote you
could.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely could.
If I had a vote.
It's so
So
rewarding though when you like trust the author and their process. Like when I read like a Brendan Sanderson book and it's like so big and there's so many point of views and you're like, there's going to be a payoff and you have to trust. And so I'm just hoping like as I, gain readership that they learn to, trust the process. Cause like, things might not feel quite right in book 1 and then you'll understand. Um, But the same with the multi POVs, like they might be like, what's the point of this character's point of view? And like, I promise there's a reason. So I'm very selective about who gets a point of view, because I've been encouraged to add point of views for this or that and the other. And I'm like, I don't want it to get any bigger. And so I had to be creative. And how do I tell that character's story without giving them a point of view? Yeah, no, it's a balance, but like also I feel like it has good payoff in those big epic fantasy books. So it's worth the headache.
And I will say that in your books, the multiple point of views, I've never been lost. I have followed the path that you have laid so well. And I have read books where it's multiple point of views where I have gotten lost and I've really had to like, okay, can I figure this out? And so I think you definitely do those multiple point of views very, very well. And I
Thank you.
think with you, Sarah, like you lay such a good foundation with the point of views that you have so far that I think you could definitely add some more in. I feel like you guys can follow your mind directions really well. Like I've never ever had the thought that I was lost by any stretch of the imagination with either of your guys's series trilogy.
good.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, my ADHD makes it hard sometimes for me to like sit and read, and sometimes like I have to come back and I'm like, okay, how did we where are we? Like, okay, and I never had to do that with you guys ever.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
Sometimes I have to get a lot of like beta reader feedback because in my head everything makes sense. And then, you get your beta readers and they're like, I did not follow this. And so I spend a lot of time like clarifying, but it's so hard because you don't want to spoon feed things to your readers. So it's like there's this trust versus like you want them to get the point, but you don't want to hit them over the head with it. So, I'm still learning that for sure. But
That's one of the things Liz G talks about a lot. Sometimes we'll read a book and she'll say, I didn't need you to spell it out for me that much. Like, trust in your readers as well, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost find it not, like, offensive in a serious way, but, like, ouch, like, you don't think I was smart enough to pick up 7 chapters ago when you touched the sword and it was glowing? I'm still here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. We are good. I know how to read, and I trust both of you guys implicitly. Liz and I have said to, like, so many of our friends, like, these will not let you down. Like, these authors will not let you down. It's okay to start book 1 because they will take care of you, and that remains true. And as we are about to start Dawn of the North, like, next week, it will remain true. I have faith
One of the
because you
things
have
we
faith.
One of the things we did say, Demi, was we had to wait till it got a little cooler outside so that we could be in Dawn of the North the way that we wanted to be. So I hope that you're not upset that we're like kind of
Oh my
like
gosh, no.
Yeah,
I
we
was
got
like,
it last week, and we were like, "Let's start it right now," and I was like, "Hold on, it is 97 degrees, and the dew point is, like, 72. Can we please help me? Can we wait, like, a week or 2?" And just, like, I'll sit in front of the fan, and
yeah.
have, like, winter ambiance on the TV. We're so excited.
Oh, that's great. No, I'm a never like when readers come to my table at events and stuff and they say I haven't gotten to your book yet, I'm like, that's you don't feel bad. Like that's amazing that you're coming and talking to me and like now I get to convince you. And then
That is
Well,
I have
that
when
a
we
is
messaged the Discord notification from Molly, we were, like, screaming.
oh
I'd
yeah.
leave my office, and I was like, "Check your email," because 'cause I'm the Discord person because she doesn't know how to use it, and we were losing our marbles. Losing them. We're very
losing them.
excited.
I
So
literally went, what? And the cats ran and
I was a bit shocked because I didn't know it was going up on NetGalley.
I know. That's what Molly said. We didn't get it from NetGalley, we got it from Discord, and
Right.
she was like, "Cancel your NetGalley request." I was like, "Our what? That was an
Yeah.
option?"
Yeah, I don't know what she yeah. But it's just so funny to me that the publishers will put it on NetGalley and not tell you. I'm like,
oh, they don't let you know that?
I was
No.
not told.
Okay, well, interesting. So you really like I see authors say all the time, like, even if I can't help you if you request on NetGalley, like I can't call anybody up and say, so they clearly don't even tell you when it's up there.
That's
So
wild.
So, well, one thing that I've found is my publisher is really receptive to working with my street team. And so I was able to get guaranteed digital arcs for anyone on my street team, regardless of like where they are in the world. So that's really great because like I think that my UK publisher won't get the files until like November. And so their NetGalley stuff won't go up for a while now. I feel bad because it's so hard when the US readers are reading it and, the UK people want to read it. It's just the way it works. But yeah, my publisher has been really great about working with my street team and I've learned to ask for things. So that's also good. Before I was like, I don't want to make anybody mad, but now I'm like, we want,
more confident, more,
Mhm.
you know that you are it. You're good. You're great. Yes.
And if
I,
you don't, you should.
I think it actually makes their life easier too when, you come to them with ideas and stuff. So I'm always learning though. Oh, and Sarah, we share a UK publisher as well.
Yeah.
Cute.
I actually think my book, I think Princess just went up on NetGalley UK like a couple days ago, maybe. So I need to let people know, I suppose. Someone sent the link to me and I was like, oh, it's up. Okay.
I will never
Awesome.
forget when the Princess of Blood cover appeared on my Kindle, like hey, you should pre-order, and I was like, does Sarah know that it's up, because you had just said you were going to announce it, and we were like, you have to tell her. Like, I was like, I'm sure she knows, like I'm sure that this is a
Well,
thing.
Well, it's like the cover gets pushed to the major retailers, and then like generally the publisher will be like, "Can you reveal the cover on your social media on such and such a day?" But they'll tell you to wait until it's up at the major retailers, and so you look around, but like you don't have a precise moment. Like by 10 a.m., like it's going to be up everywhere. It's just kind of checking in to see. But yeah, sometimes a lot of things in publishing are a surprise to even the authors.
Yep.
Truly. We went to like a panel one time, a signing, and it was Allie Hazelwood and BK Borson and Lila Sage, and they were telling these jokes that we thought were like funny, but they were serious. Like they've applied for their own arcs and been denied.
Oh, I did that once for
Like, what
Witch's
do you
Guide.
mean?
I
You
applied for
your
the arc of
name,
Witch's
you're like,
Guide. I just wanted
that's
to see it.
insane.
I wanted to see what it looked like. They don't reject me. They just did not approve me.
Yeah, like, and I almost want the rejection more. Like, please don't have my request sitting in there for 10 years.
It's like I just wanted to see what it looked like on my Kindle. Like that's all I wanted, and so I haven't tried
So cute.
since. Because you see it in the past pages version, but that's a PDF where it's laid out, and so it's like I want to see it. I want to see it on the Kindle.
Wow. There's just so much behind the scenes that we don't get to see, and I love hearing about it because I love the book. So I'm like, tell me how we got from here to here. I'm fascinated, and I'm sure it's probably a very stressful process for you guys. So I apologize in advance, but I'm just like, I need to know. I want to know.
I think for me, the most stressful part, like this is my first book that I wrote with the publisher start to finish. And so for me, it was a lot more stressful this time of getting to past pages, which is like the final proofs. The last time you can change things, that was more stressful this time because I actually had quite a few things I changed. Like, so, what the ARC readers are getting is going to be a little bit different in the final version, but they make it a little harder to change them, which is good because otherwise you might go crazy and change everything. But so you're like marking it up on the PDF, and yeah, that was a little bit stressful this time. But then when it was done, I was like, oh, it's done. I can't. It's good because I will, when I'm self-publishing, I can go back as many times as I want and fix things, which is not a good thing. So when it's done and it's done, that's good.
Actually, I think past pages is my least favorite part, specifically because of that. It's like it's your last chance to change anything, and like my publisher at least like sends this document about how to do past pages with all these like dire warnings that you're not supposed to change too much because then they'll have to like retypeset. They're like, this is not the stage to be making substantial changes, and I'm like, oh god. But they're also like, but if you don't catch anything, like this is your last chance, like.
Yeah.
So it's just, for me personally, I'm like, this is the worst 2 weeks of my life as I'm supposed to read this book for like the 15th time, but somehow catch every typo that I've skipped over the previous 14 times. And also you can change a little bit, but not too much. And then I've been calling it like the sword pass because twice in a row now with Servant of Earth and Princess of Blood, I realized there was like a plot hole involving swords. And I only realized at the past pages point, like, so with Servant of Earth, the only character that had a sword the entire book was Callan in the first version of it. And then all of a sudden at the end, there's like a big sword fight and everyone has swords. And literally like Dresden was just like kneeling and like doing all this other stuff. And then he just whips the sword out of nowhere. I'm like, where was he storing that sword? And so I had to go in and like add swords at pivotal moments so that you would understand that like they are all carrying swords. And then in Princess of Blood, I had this rule where like there's this sort of treaty thing going on, and the rule is like no violence, and there's specific things they can't carry. So there's this rule where it's like you cannot carry a sword, like or something like. I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember now. I'm like, were they not allowed to carry a sword? Did they have to tie it into their scabbard? But the whole point is you're not supposed to draw your sword because that's like against the rules. And there was this scene where Callan draws a sword and it's just like entirely so he can be hot. And it's like he was going to be so sexy with that sword. And it's the one where he's like holding, he's like, do you think you could wield this better? And I was reading, I was like, what a good scene. I was like, oh, I've literally established that this would like start a war. And like, I can't have him do this. I think I had him do it with a dagger or something. I'm trying to remember. It feels like the problem is I have a whole entire book in my head right now that is not Princess of Blood. And I'm like, what happened in Princess of Blood? I can only think about all this stuff. So anyway, so past pages are my sword pass because there's always something I discover related to swords. And I can't wait to find out what it's going to be in this one.
Oh, that makes me feel better. I found I can't remember the specifics, but I found a plot hole this time. And I was like, oh, I'm the only one that caught this. Nobody else noticed this. It just freaked me out when I found it. But yes, about having multiple books in your head or one, like I can only hold one book at a time in my head because I was writing the novella and like kind of leapfrogging with Dawn of the North. So, when one was with the editor, I was working with on the other. And then I did a Zoom with I did a Discord video. I totally spoiled this like important plot point because at this point, Roots of Darkness was out. And I forgot that's not revealed until midway through Dawn of the North. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "Okay, I don't
I
know."
remember that.
So now we have like cone of silence. We don't share that. We don't share that outside.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm going to shift again. I'm so sorry. The sun is moving.
It's following
Chasing
you.
I'm so sorry.
Chasing you.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's funny too because you're always working like a year ahead of when something's actually going to be out. So, and especially when you like, I get so hyper focused on the book. Like this yesterday, I wrote for 12 hours straight. I wrote over
Oh my gosh.
10,000 words, and I did not like. I got up to microwave a piece of pizza, and that was the only thing I did all day. That was not writing, and so I get in these very like tunnel vision things, and then you emerge from it, and you're like, I can literally only think about this book because this is all I've been thinking about for months now. So
Yes.
I
I
don't know.
mean, so I'm trying to get back into book 4 because I've been doing all these edits all summer, and then Thursday and Friday I finally like really started to get back into it, and then it was like the end of the day and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, "No, it's the end of the work day. You turn off the brain," but it just doesn't work like that. So, yeah, I have to get really deep into the book. Like I have to get I don't do well with switching tasks,
Yeah.
so I totally relate to the hyper focus thing.
Yeah, and it's like towards the last like month or two of drafting a book, it's like, okay, I'm going to be up at 3 or 4 in the morning every morning, and I'm just going to think about the book. And sometimes I'll just start work at 4 because I'm not going to go back to sleep, or like this is just all I do. And I'll listen to the playlist for this book while I'm on the road. Actually, I had an interesting moment because I'm also writing rom-coms at the same time. And so I turned in Princess of Blood, which was like the most excruciatingly intense process. Like I'm really proud of this book, partially because of how difficult it was. And I had just gone from this like 2 straight weeks of writing and editing because I had to cut 25,000 words. I did that in 2 weeks, and I was going from like 5 a.m. to midnight, 7 days, like a week. And then I went straight from that into trying to finish drafting a rom-com that I'd put aside like 6 months before. And I was like my brain is fully in stabbing like murder fantasy mode. And I'm like, I don't know how to tell jokes. Like, I don't know. And it was just the most jarring thing. And so basically I had like 3 months to work on this rom-com before I was supposed to start working on book 3. And it's going to be whiplash again because as soon as I turn in book 3, I'm going to do final edits on that pass of the rom-com, and it's going to be the exact same thing. And I'm like, I don't know, what is a joke, like what is funny, like what are the stakes when everyone lives, like I don't know. So
What
even
does it mean
just
to have
switching
a
genres
happy
is
ever
scary.
after? Like, what does it
Yeah.
mean for me to write happiness? I don't know.
I mean, there is happiness. I will tell you, there is happiness in book 3. Like, it's not just misery. It's just that like there's like one particularly sad thing that really got me.
So
Well,
we'll
when
be
you guys
we'll be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the other thing is that kind of stuff translates to the reader too, because there have been books, your guys' included, where I'm up at 5 a.m. because I can't stop thinking about it. I need to keep reading it, and I can't stop. And that's when you know that it's you've made it, because it's like, this is the book that I've been waiting for, and I literally don't want to go to sleep because reading it is better than what I'm daydreaming about in my dreams. Like, listen, when Cass started being his Cass self in Kingdom of Claw, I said, here I am. I'm good. And then when the Void Daddy showed up, I said, I'm here. I'm good. I need to know. I need to be here. And that is the best feeling as a reader, truly, when you're just like, I'm so invested, and you guys make me so invested in both of your respectable areas. So
That's
Vikings.
the highest praise.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
I
that.
still remember one of the first ARC reviews I got was from this woman who had 4 kids, and she was like, I've stayed up until 4 a.m. and I have kids and I can't stay up till 4 a.m. It's like the best, the highest compliment. Oh,
And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but also
I'm so
amazing.
sorry, but
But also, thank you. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's true. I remember telling Liz when we got the traveling arc for Princess of Blood, I said, "I'm taking PTO. I feel nothing. I need to know. I have missed
Oh
Kenna.
man.
I missed Callan, and that's it. And I'll be doing the same for whatever book 3 is and Dawn of the North, and you guys are just gonna be in my PTO bank with me."
And I have to
You
tell you, the traveling arc was one of the most fun things that I have
Oh,
ever
good.
done in the book universe. I had the best time, and the only person who had annotated before me was Liz. So
you know
very
you
cute
kicked
for
it
sure.
off.
That's such a
Oh,
fun
you
idea.
have it back?
No, you kicked it off. I'm hoping I'll get them back. Usually, most authors I've talked to who get traveling arcs say that a lot of them don't actually return. Um, someone just keeps them, or they get lost in the mail. But I've had good luck so far because I got the one last year back right away. And so I have 3 out this time, and that'll be fun.
So
Oh
how
my
many
gosh.
I don't
stops
know where
does
it is right now, but it's so cool. Huh?
how many stops does the arc make?
They're each making 7 this
Oh
time
my gosh,
around, which is
that's so
maybe
cool.
too many. I think it's already behind schedule because I think someone who was supposed to get it in late June just got it. So I'm like,
Oh my
"What?"
god.
And I gave like 2 weeks for everyone to read, and then like a full week of transit, and then built in extra padding so that everyone should finish it by the time the book comes out. But it's if we're already 2 months behind, like
Yeah.
it's probably not
Oh
going
my
to
That's
go
gosh.
well.
wild.
That's so just like it would be so cool to see all the different annotations and things that people like. Does everyone annotate?
They do. I want to see if I can find it and show. It's the coolest thing, and it's just you've got just everyone, and they write down like the little pen colors, and then it's a bunch of like all caps screaming and highlighting. I feel like I would have a very hard time reading a book if I was part of the traveling arc because I would constantly be stopping to read the annotations. Or how do you, if someone's doing all caps screaming, you turn a page and there's all caps screaming, like how do you not look to see what it is in advance? Like you have to like cover it. So I don't know.
The amount of times that Purr was on the stage or on the page, I was like, don't jump, don't jump. Like, and then she would be like, Purr. And I would be like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Callan is my man. I'm equally attracted to Kenna and Callan, and I had a hard time in Princess of
Awesome.
Blood, let me tell you. So,
Good. I'm glad. It's
it
like
was great.
I love them both. I love them both.
Yeah, Liz
I
and
also love
we
I also
bought a
love
special
Justin,
pen.
which is a controversial opinion,
You
but
what?
he's my baby too.
Well,
We talked
he's
about this last time, and I get it. I
he's
get it.
so fun.
But no,
He is fun.
He's
he's
really fun.
fun, and he's
Yeah.
also very like logic. Like I understood him very well from Servant of Earth, and Kenna, in my opinion, was being really like, what is the word I'm looking for? Irrational, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, she's young, and so like I was definitely like this heavy Servant of Earth spoiler. But when I was writing it, I was kind of thinking about like maybe that boyfriend you have in your early 20s who really sweeps you off your feet, and you kind of miss some of the yellow flags to red flags. And it's just
Celtic
like this sort of
orange.
all consumed like the messy relationship that a lot of people have in their 20s, and like you learn from it and you grow from it, and then you like are
Well,
better.
and
But
one
also
of my
like
big
Tina's just a very impulsive character in a lot of ways. Like she's gonna be in the mess. Like she's gonna throw her whole heart into the mess. And she will continue throwing her whole heart into the mess the whole series.
well, and one of my chief complaints in some of the fantasy books that I've read is these high fae people meet this young impression, this young person, and they fall in love and they're together, and they literally change their entire world for this one character in 5 days. And I'm
Yes.
like, we at least need 2 weeks,
Yes.
like we need it to be. And there was a whole rebellion and thousands of lives, and for Kenna to assume that she would be picked above all of that within only being there for how long had she been there at that point? Like
She's been there for about 6 months at that point.
6 months. Okay, like that's still very
That's not very
presumptuous.
long when he's been planning this for 30 years. you know,
Exactly.
active
So
and thinking about it for longer than that. Yes.
exactly. And that's why I was like, yes, like finally, like this is what I love that because I would never assume that I would be picked in 3 days. I'm obviously exaggerating.
Yeah.
When you have been planning this for 3,000 years.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I don't necessarily think he was wrong. A lot of people are like, oh, boo, like, kick him in the nuts, like, kill him. And I'm like, was he wrong? I don't know. I don't think he was wrong. I think maybe he went about some of it in a slightly wrong way, but
He wasn't
Oh,
he
yes.
could have definitely handled the situation a lot better. I was like, I wasn't shocked. You know, I wasn't shocked how everything went down because, well, duh. Duh, he's gonna throw you under the bus. You know, like, duh.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Demi, are you an apologist for any of your characters that people hate? I don't know if you even want to say it, if you don't want to do spoilers, but
Yeah, let us know.
The queen.
So, I mean, spoilers for the Road of Bones. There's
Yes.
no way to discuss this without spoiling the thing. But yeah, Jonas or Jonas, however you want to say his name.
Really?
I mean, okay, so so Scylla withholds information
Mhm.
and they get in over their head and battle, and his brother dies. And he blames her for the death, which she kind of is a little bit responsible for by withholding that information. But then he goes way overboard by like drugging her, kidnapping her, and
light overreaction.
he kind of went a little the other way. But he's also got like massive baggage from his childhood. And so, you know, I was going to not continue with his character. I was going to have him die in the Road of Bones, actually. And I kept him, and you know, I have plans for him. That's all I'm going to say. So, like, people love to hate him, but I'm always kind of like, you know, he did kind of have his reasons. He just like way overcompensated or overreacted.
And you know what? Actually, in book club, I believe that everybody kind of was like, we got it. Actually, until Kingdom of Claw, when he really took it to the next level. Like, he could have just been done. And it was Road
Yeah.
of Bones. We understood. You know, did we agree with it? No. But there was a
Yeah.
lot. But it was Kingdom of Claw where we were like, my guy.
Yep. And we have a girl who still is like, I want him to be happy. We have a girl in the book club who loves him still.
Okay.
I mean,
That's good. I
yeah.
mean,
So, yeah.
I mean, I think that's what makes an interesting character. Like everyone, whether they're good or evil, they should have motivations that make sense to them, and that you can kind of get. If you're like, if I was a slightly different person, or if I was viewing the world in this way, or if this was how I was raised, and like I can see how they made those connections. Like I think that makes for interesting characters and compelling characters. And I don't know. I think that's why I like a lot of villains, or I like a lot of morally gray people, where you're like, what an interesting choice that was. But like, I get why you did it, and that kind of makes me sit and think about, I don't know, what motivates people.
yeah, I always liked the villains to have motives.
Yeah.
I was just watching Lord of the Rings, and I was kind of like, it's such a amazing movie, but it annoys me to no end that like they didn't get into like Sauron's motives, and like he just wants to take over the world. Anyway,
It's true.
The
Yes.
problem is,
And Joffrey. We never ever have a redeeming second of brain power from Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Other than that, you can kind of see where people are coming from.
Yeah. Although I will say, like, I had some uncomfortable feelings at Joffrey's death scene, because I was like in this big watch party and everyone is just cheering, and I'm like watching a teenage boy die in front of his screaming mother, and I was like, I feel like, obviously I do not like Joffrey and he's a horrible person, and also I was like, we're really
getting desensitized here.
Oh my god.
death. Yeah.
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 I mean, I feel that Game of Thrones is that one show where you have to be okay with watching some of the most traumatic things you've ever seen, or you're not going to be able to finish it, because
Well, you can't even watch episode 1 if you're not in for trauma. So
Well, it's like, talk about characters, villains with interesting motivations and things. Like Cersei is one of my favorite characters. She's so interesting, and like motivation of a specific motivation of being a mother on top of all the thwarted ambition and everything else. And you're like, that is so fascinating to watch.
Cersei 100% inspired Queen Signy in my book.
I was wondering about that.
It's into this stuff because she wants to protect her children, but then something happens at the end of Kingdom of Claw that just pushes her over the edge, and she needs to get revenge. But yeah, and then Saga was kind of like Sansa, where she was raised by her enemies, her parents' murderers, and expected to marry their son. But I liked that Cersei had those motivations. Like that gave her character so much more depth, and actually kind of almost surprises me because we all know how men writing women can fall pretty flat sometimes. I thought that she was a remarkably nuanced and layered character.
Yeah, I mean, even to the end of the seasons when I felt she was making decisions that were very, like deciding to go head to head against Daenerys and all of that. But she literally has watched all 3 of her children die in front of her because of this political environment. And I can't say that if I had lived that I wouldn't be like, yeah, F all you guys, I'm taking it all for myself. Like,
Maybe not F my brother, but everyone else.
Yeah, maybe definitely not that whole character.
Weird choice.
Weird flex.
A woman written by a man. That's
that was
true.
But actually, I think this is why I think women make such interesting villains, and like I want to write female villains, and I like writing female villains because I think there's a different kind of menace you can do with them, and it's just I don't know, and like I definitely obviously have male villains and some quite horrible ones in the Shards of Magic series, but I think they're less nuanced than horrible women.
They're least likely, like when we have a mystery thriller book club that we do too, and one of our favorite things to read is like a female serial killer because they're not going to get caught. We are not going to get caught, and I'm not saying I am.
I was like, hold on, we.
I'm just saying.
This podcast, murder.
Yeah, as a women, like when we are villains, and when I see a woman villain, they're much more fleshed out. It makes more sense, and they also have set up so they're not going to get caught. Where I feel as if I see more like the man villain, they're impulsive, they do things, and I'm like, well, duh, don't do that. Of course you're going to get caught. What are you doing? Like, So we're very pro.
Like, because you remove the like sexual element, maybe that makes it more interesting. Not that women couldn't have that. It just sort of
No, I
it's less in your face.
Yeah. I that's what I wanted from Daenerys from Game of Thrones. I wanted some more depth to the Mad Queen because she also had very traumatic things happen in a short span of time. And I'm like, however, I still don't think her actions should give her the title of Mad Queen.
Yeah.
I think this is perfectly reasonable response, Queen, actually.
You're like, and good for you for burning down an entire continent. We love to see it.
Snaps for you, girl. Good job.
Yeah, she needed like 3 more seasons to kind of like grip in that foreshadowing and like to have her have some of those like over Mad Queen reactions, but then like tone it down, or like she shows remorse or something that you'd be able to forgive her for. Yeah. No, I feel like that it was a really poetic ending, that it was a really cool idea of an ending that just didn't quite
hit
execute. But
it's like, I bet it would be amazing in the books because there'd be so much buildup. But yeah, you can't do that in like 3 episodes. And I know she had moments like where she's like crucifying all the slavers, and you're like, that's pretty intense. But also, did they have it coming? I think they had it coming. So like,
Good for you.
know, like you see what all the male rulers are doing this world. I'm like, I don't think that's any worse.
Exactly.
So I think I'm also a Daenerys apologist.
Yeah, and
I was so upset by the last episode. I wrote like just a standalone fix it chapter. It was just like Daenerys being resurrected from the dead by a red priestess and being like off to like her new life.
have had that same daydream in my head. I'm like, nope, Drogon took her to the Red Priestess, and he was like, make my mommy well, and there we are.
Yeah, and I was like, and in this thing, like she's the breaker of chains, and her name, all the names and all the titles and all the legacy, that's her chains, and so she can break it, and she'll just go to another part of the world and like.
Redo
so I'm like,
it.
in my head, that's what happened. He carried her
And I'll
away.
be
She was
there.
resurrected. She's fine. She's fine.
And I bet like when you guys are writing your endings to your books, you make it's probably, is it a conscious thing that you're like, okay, don't make this happen too fast. We have to make sure, because I like from what I hear, a lot of the times you know the ending. It is making sure it has the filling to make sure it's not us sitting here like, well,
Definitely like that. I often will write like a leaner initial kind of draft, and then I'm like, no, that happened too fast, and I have to go back and like make it progress a little bit more slowly, or like map out like how certain things need to progress. And like for Jonas's character, again, spoilers, I had to invest a bit of time in building his relationship with Scylla, because I wanted people to buy in that was potentially a relationship, so that when what happens, it just hits so much harder. However, like it was so tricky because also I had to set things up for book 2. But yeah, like there are like some slower parts in the Road of Bones that just were necessary to build up the relationships and the character growth. And I'm okay with that, because I'm always going to put like character growth as, above necessarily like fast plot things always happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's appreciated.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
You say, do you draft lean? Because I draft way, way, way too long, and then I have to cut it all down.
Oh my gosh, no, I think my draft was like 100,000 words, which is not that lean.
Okay. Do you want to know what the word count of the thing I finished last night? It was
You mean
169,000
Magic
words.
3?
For a first draft?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's impressive.
And Princess of Blood's first draft was 175,000, and I think it ended up 145, which is still too long.
Okay,
No.
so
it's
Bones was like 100,000 to start, and it ended up at 175.
It ended up at 175?
Yeah.
It did not feel like 175. That's amazing.
Well, thank you. I mean, with the long word count, I actually do spend a lot of time cutting as many words as I can, but because I was self-publishing, I didn't have the restrictions where they're like, you got to keep it to 100,000 words.
Yeah.
That would have been, I don't know.
I would read 400,000 words from each of you guys. So
I think my editor is just like screaming somewhere in the distance, like, no! Stop! Stop! Paper is expensive!
Oh my gosh. Well, with Princess of Blood coming out in like literally a month, and we're dead, we're screaming, we're so excited. We have to wait a little bit longer. Well, the public has to wait a little bit longer for Dawn of the North. Is there anything that you would like to say about your respective books 3 and 4?
I'll go with Sarah first.
Oh no. I don't even know what to say. I think,
or like sum up your experience in one word.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my cat's doing things. Come here. Okay.
Emotional support, Coco.
Book 3, it's interesting because talking about like the slower pace of character and relationship building, and like I really like reading slow character stuff. It can't be wall-to-wall action. So I just feel like I saw something like Princess of Blood is just a bunch of parties, and I'm like, it is a bunch of parties, but like we're laying the groundwork of all these relationships, and like there is some stabbing, like some quality.
There's
stabbing.
a lot of stabbing. There's a lot of things that we can't share, but there's a lot going on at the parties.
Yeah, book 3 is if you're like, there's too much talking and not enough killing. I'm like, all right, book 3 is for you. Like the pace picks up. Like it is, everyone is in place, and it all just goes. And I will say, I'm excited. There's a couple things that I have not seen anyone guess yet that I have been hinting at since book 1.
I'm stressed.
And it's like big plot things, and so I'm excited to finally like have that out there, and hopefully like blow people's minds on a couple of things.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yeah.
did you read the end of your book?
I did.
Did you read it? Because what do you mean?
I know. What do you mean? Also, I felt like I was on a very fast roller coaster in Princess of Blood. I don't know. Faster, I'm scared.
There's one specific party, and I'm not going to say what happens, but there's a thing that happens that I still actively think about almost every other day.
I got a message from someone else on the Traveling Arc team about that particular moment.
Was
It
it
was
bad?
insane.
I think it got people because I think it's interesting. Like it was really fun coming up with the magic system and what each house does and how. Like I think it's easy to be like, well, if you can burn people alive, like it's very like I understand what that power is and how it's effective. Or you can like grow plants. You're like, I get it, and then you're like, I can warp people's mind, and so that's interesting. It's like to me that's like creepier. It's like creepy crawlies on your skin where you're like, I can't actually trust anything my eyes or my ears or anything else is telling me. So I will say there's more of that in book 3 as well.
And to piggyback off of that, though, it tells the strength of Kenna because Kenna comes into this. She's brand new. She is a sparkling newborn little baby fae, and the fact that she's able to navigate that even remotely with these other fae who are very well honed in their skill. I love Kenna.
I love her too. She's my
I'm-
baby.
I'm thinking of my girls.
I know. She's gonna go through it. I'm sorry.
You laid the groundwork for that really well.
Yeah. I think it's like the worst. It's always hard to come up with a last line for a book, but I felt like that one.
It was great.
That was insane.
I'm just teasing you. I loved Princess of Blood. I love Servant of Earth. I love both of you guys. You guys are my go-to recommendations for people who have read maybe a little bit of like romance, romantasy, fantasy, but want the same kind of feels, but they don't know where to go. And so you're different enough that they're two different paths. And I have never, ever had anybody come back and say, wasn't for me. Like,
Oh, good.
both
That's
of you,
nice.
like based on where they are in their reading journey, perfect recommendations because you guys do fantasy so well.
Oh, thank you. Wait, I want to hear about Demi's book 4 now. Whatever you want to tell us.
Well, anything.
Book 3, it's like kind of book 4, but kind of book 3 because the other one was a novella, so it's like 2.5. So Roots of Darkness is re-releasing through Penguin in December. I don't think I have a release date yet. But that, you can still get that on you can still get the ebook. And then Dawn of the North is coming February 3rd. So that one is a bit more like bridging a lot of different worlds because there's characters in different locations and it's kind of like uniting things, to put it vaguely. So there was like the mist with the beating heart that was kind of mentioned in book 1 in Road of Bones that the Blood Axe crew was going to investigate. They're finally gonna figure out that's like the central conflict is this poisonous mist that is doing something. So it's kind of set up a little bit in Roots of Darkness. Like Hekla's trying to figure it out, but they definitely do not resolve the situation. And so that's what book 3 is. So with being perfectly vague.
I'm dead. I literally cannot wait. I told Liz, I was like, maybe this week, maybe next week. It has to be soon. We need to know.
Yeah, so Saga and Rurik were my fave. That was my favorite storyline to write. So
Same.
God,
I mean,
just
I didn't
say
write
that.
it, but to read it, I like we rank everybody, and I'm like, nope, that's it. That was. I can't
think
wait.
so he's going to get his own point of views, and you kind of get to understand his way of thinking and like why he's a little unhinged, why he does the things he does. And yeah, their storyline was like so fun to write.
So we were ranking like Ray versus him, and I was like, you guys, how can you like he is perfection. I truly cannot like I will reread him every single day. I love him so much. I cannot. Maybe I have to start Dawn in the North next. Like, what am
He's
I
just
gonna
my
do?
chaos demon. He like always throws wrenches in my plans. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not supposed to happen for 10 more chapters? And
I love
I
yeah.
that.
love that. I love when characters kind of take on a mind of their own. Like, not that they're writing the story, but because you've crafted them so thoroughly in your head that you know what they would do, and then it's not what they're supposed to do. But if you want to make the character internally consistent, you're like, guess we're doing this now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it's a fun feeling.
It is. Yeah, that's the great thing about writing a 5-book series is like I know these characters so well now. I don't
Mhm.
have to really think about what they would do. It comes very intuitively. However, what I am finding is I have to go back and look up things like reference things that I wrote in like passing, and now I'm like, what was that name for that thing? Or, all the little details I have to go and dig back up now. So
It's so hard.
there's that.
Like, what did I name everyone? Like, I don't know. So a lot of like I use brackets so that I can now search for all the placeholder things, and then there's so many characters just named name. So I'm like, I don't remember what I named you 300,000 words ago. I have no idea. So
Yeah, today I was looking up the name for like a specific meeting room that this guy had, and I'm sure it had some sort of fancy name. And so now it's just meeting room.
well, I think George R. R. Martin has like a fan that just he goes to because this fan has an encyclopedic knowledge of the series. I think I read this somewhere. And so he's like, what did I call that guy? And like, what was his standard? And this fan is like, I got you. And I feel like that's what we need. We need like the
Yes.
keeper of the lore.
Yes. That would
I
be
mean,
awesome.
you have some co-keepers.
I'm just gonna be like, what did I name this character? And you'll be like,
I'll be like, hold please. Here you go. Here's all the lore. Here's where I think it's going, but don't feel any pressure.
Yeah.
no, it's funny also trying to remember what you actually wrote and what you cut, because I cut so much that a lot of times I'm like, I
Yes.
remember this sentence, and it's like, no, that's not, the sentence is not in the book anymore.
I
Yes.
thought about that. Like, how does that work? Especially like you guys have said, your word counts were so hefty.
Yeah.
Not the cat, you know? Um, but
My
like
cat is
how like after you cut things, how do you recall like exactly like what cutting that out kind of did to your story? And like how do you remember, oh, never mind, we killed that, we killed them. You know what I mean?
For
I
me,
don't
like
remember.
when I wrote The Road of Bones, I probably changed my character names like 20 times. And by the end of the book, I couldn't remember what I was even calling like Bjorn and Signy's names changed so many times. And I don't know why I ended up on Signy because I have Scylla and I have Saga and I have Skreda and I have
I thought
Signy.
that was
So
I thought
many
that was on
stuff.
purpose. I
I thought
thought
it
it
was
was
cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I
I was
liked
like,
it.
oh, that makes
oh my
sense.
gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah. All
Nope,
my
not on
characters
purpose.
also change names constantly. Hector changed his name. Osric had 3 different names. Like they've all Kenna and Callan are like the only and Lara and Anya are the only people where like their name was their name from the start. And then everyone else, including Tristan, like name changed. So
I
Yeah.
never thought of that. I guess I always just assume you knew all of the like because I'm not a writer. So I'm like, oh, they already knew everybody
no.
already. So that's
No, I
that
just
is
waffle. I just waffle. And then sometimes I realize that I've been realizing this more as now that I'm involved in like they ask me how to pronounce words for my audiobook. I realize that I'm very visual, and so a lot of times like how I absorb a word or a name is just in the shape of it and how it looks.
mhm.
And then someone tells me to say it out loud, and even if I invented the name, I'm like, I don't want
I
to
don't
do
know.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that.
That is
And so
my entire existence. That I am constantly like, hey, the latest one we read,
For whom the bell tolls.
there you go. The for whom the bell tolls, I could not say, and that's just one example. A lot of the characters, I'll be like, Liz, this is what I think it is, and she's like, let's try that again. I
She's
don't
like, this word looks like this blob. And I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But sometimes, like, if you read a lot, like Liz is constantly reading, we're all constantly writing, reading. It's like that word just kind of looks like a shape. This word doesn't look like a word anymore.
Jonas
yeah.
was always Jonas to me when I was writing. And then I got the audiobook and I was like, oh, I guess it's Jonas, which sounds different than Jonas.
We had that conversation the first time we talked. We were like, is it Jonas? And you were like, actually, it's Jonas. And we are like, that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
makes sense,
Yeah.
but I
I
called him
still
Jonas the whole time.
Yeah. And I definitely so I mean, I use the Icelandic language and Old Norse as like this is again just like that was biting off a lot for probably a debut novel. But like then I got an Icelandic speaker to do like audio files for me because I didn't want to rely on Google Translate, and I just wanted to be really, get the actual correct pronunciation. And I was like, what? That's how you say that word? Anyway, it was interesting.
It makes me feel so much better to know.
Yeah.
Even authors wonder.
Because I'm constantly saying, you guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm going to say this name wrong because I'm just reading the name. I'm not, actively. And I just listened to my first audiobook like 2 weeks ago because I usually don't have the attention span. So maybe I'll be better this year, but it makes me feel so much better. Well, why don't we start wrapping it up? We have been yapping.
It's been
for
great.
what?
It's
I
fun.
know.
I could go another 2 hours. But why don't we talk about where everybody can find you guys? Demi, if you want to go first, if you want to talk about your social media and when Dawn of the North is going to grace us, that would be perfect.
Sure. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. And I also have a reasonably active Discord group. I have a Facebook group, but like honestly, going on to Facebook gives me like the fight or flight response.
Yep. Yeah.
I prefer Discord. It's just very laid back, and and I hang out there. So I'm also like attending some events this year. I'm going to Books, Gowns, and Crowns in DC, and I'll be at Romantasy Book Con in Orlando. So my first like East Coast events. And yeah, what was I saying? Oh, Dawn of the North is coming February 3rd. And I'm very excited for everybody to meet the winged horse who's on the cover. His name is Havoc, and he's a little
Yes.
silvery. He was totally inspired by like they have these horse tribes in like what is now Turkey. And so back in the day, like there was a lot of these horse tribes called the Pecheneg tribes, and they were nomadic. So they were kind of inspired by them, but also by the winged horses like with the Valkyries.
Yes.
So yes, that's all I will say. And yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. It has been such an honor and a pleasure to see you and talk with you again. Obviously, we are obsessed with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honestly, anytime. And of course, Sarah, before we all go.
Yeah. And Sarah, where can we find you at?
Yes. So my website is sarahhawleyauthor.com. My social handles, I'm on Instagram mostly. I'm like a little bit on TikTok. That's also Sarah Hawley Author. Princess of Blood is coming out September 30th, which is really exciting. And then I will be going on a book tour for that. So it'll be Bainbridge Island, Seattle, Portland, San Diego, and Bellingham. So links are on my website to tickets. I'm still waiting as of like this very moment. I'm still waiting for the ticket links for a couple of those stops. But yeah, so I'll be traveling a little bit, and then you can find me floating around and trying not to freak out. My book is coming out so soon.
We are so ready. We are so obsessed with both of you and everything you guys do. You guys are our top authors, and we are so honored that both of you decided to come on here and just yap with us. Thank you 10 times over.
This is
Truly.
fun.
It was
This is
fun.
Yeah, and maybe after book 3 and book 4, we'll have you back on because we'll have some things to say.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yes.
The full spoiler chat.
There you go.
If you are watching this and you want to buy any of Demi's books or any of Sarah's books, you can go to sunboundbooks.com. We ship anywhere and everywhere. And if you use code Liz and Liz, you can get 10% off. And we are on everything except X at Liz and Liz Get Literary. So Thank you guys all for coming. Thank you again, Demi and Sarah, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.